All right, so this will be another LunarVim stream, and hopefully one of the last where I have to do so many things, and soon the project will be a lot less greenfield, so we can focus on smaller things like just implementing certain LSP clients or things like that. In this stream, I'm going to be doing like some small refactor stuff, going over some documentation, Q&A kind of thing. People can ask questions. Anyone has questions in Discord, anyone has questions in the chat or whatever, I will answer them. You know, we can do that. Let's see. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't know, where should I start? Let me finish up what I'm going to do with some of this refactor stuff. There's a couple plugins I would like to lazy load, but there's this thing where every single time, if I'm going to be lazy loading another plugin, I only want to like start with one, and then when I'm sure that one works, then I'll do another one and another one. Because things can get a little bit tricky with like ordering and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to do Lua, we're going to do plugins. I'm just going to look through a couple of these. Let's see. So I actually don't want to do telescope anymore because otherwise it'll break this guy, the dashboard. So I don't want to do that one right now. Astronauta, I can't do that one. It's kind of important for file types and things like that. I've had mixed reports and mixed experience with LSP config. The nice thing is though now that when you install LunarVim, it actually compiles the Packer file, because before it didn't, so that kind of sucked. What's up, nobody important? What's up, Mr. Juan B? I remember you from the last stream. I forget what we did. Oh yeah, you were the one who left me the testimonial. Hey, how long do you think it will take until the 1.0 release? Well, the 1.0 release, as I set out, is kind of already done. It's kind of already done, but I won't really consider a 1.0 release done until many of the bugs are addressed. There aren't that, surprisingly, there are a lot less bugs than I actually thought there was going to be. But I won't say that there's a 1.0 release until, if you look here in Packer, which is where I pull in all the plugins, there is, where can we find tree? Not this one, or the, okay, there we go. You can notice here how I pinned mvim tree to a particular commit. So if I don't do this, whenever I run like, you know, actually I can run this with P and then I can do update. Whenever I run update, you see how like it'll just grab all the new stuff? Well, imagine that one of these has a bug, like get signs now has a bug, or whatever, compy now has a bug. I mean, with these commit messages, you can obviously tell that compy is now fixed and improved, but you know, one of these could have said bug, like introduced bug, and that really could have really screwed us, right? So what you want to do is you want to take these guys and pin them to a particular commit so that everything's fine. And then what I'll likely do is maybe we'll have some sort of way that we can unpin some of them. And this is also why I want to minimize the amount of built-in plugins, because I don't want to have to deal with this for tons of different plugins. So I'd like to get as much as I possibly can out of the base config. So that's when we'll be doing that. Adding quit exclamation point and W exclamation point in which key is a good idea. Yeah, it might be a good idea actually, just to get out really easily. Is there a way to fold code in LunarVim currently? Not that I know of, but there's a way to do it with Tree Sitter, which is a way that I think there's a PR out for. So maybe that. You're famous. I'm not famous. People talk about you on Reddit. I don't think they really do, outside of maybe every now and NeoVim comment. Are you going to abuse drugs? I might. And I'll try and be careful. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, let's see. Well, I'm not doing the commit thing now because I'm probably going to do that off stream. I don't want to make you guys suffer through that because that would really suck to watch. Let's see. I did want to show you guys something cool though that I actually got working. So watch this. I want to just show off a few features first before I get into the boring stuff. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. We're just gonna quit out of here. We're gonna. What is DC? Okay. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to repos. I'm gonna open up a Python project. Like so. Okay. Well, let's. Well, two things. You're gonna actually see this. So if I activate this virtual environment and then open this up, you can see, and there really should be a little picture here, but there's not right now. You can now see the virtual environment in the status bar, and I really like that. It's a bit of an off-color problem here, but I know I can fix that really easily, so I'm not going to worry about it. But you can see the virtual environment, it's in green because Python's green, and so that's pretty cool. The other thing I was going to show you is this. Ignore all the errors right now because they're unimportant. But if we go like this, you'll see that we have a formatter, right? Now, if I open up, I don't even need to open up dashboard, but I can open up dashboard and go over to settings, and I can swap the format on save over here to false, right? And then we'll come back in here, and I hope this works. And I'll save that, and it doesn't work. And you can see, usually in Vim or NeoVim, you would have to leave NeoVim to update settings. But we don't have to do that anymore. So we'll swap back to true. We'll come back over here. We'll save. I think I saved that. You see, we'll save again, and then it works again. So pretty cool stuff. I like that feature. I'm very happy with that feature. Creates successful NeoVim config, gets famous, consumes tons of drugs. Yeah, what's wrong with that, dude? Let's see. Also, pre-select always on MV-compy. Whatever the way that Compy works is the way that I'm happy with, and I will expose settings so that you can change that. My bad about the background. Oh yeah, that's all right. I don't know what happened to the icon. It might be my font, but I'm still very happy with the thing showing up here. I think the background is due to, you probably just have one off highlight group or something. I don't know. But not really a big deal because that's easily fixable. Again, I don't want to fix that right now because I don't care. But yeah, so it looks good. Everything's very handsome. That was the one thing I wanted to show. This broke actually before, and I didn't notice it. And I think it was, I forget the guy's name. It's like Coletti or something like that. He fixed it. And so what else? Now, this doesn't, I don't think this works for everything yet. But it will work for a good amount of things. And it also works for plugins. I don't know if you guys haven't seen this yet, but if you change this to true, for instance, like Zen mode, and then you save, it'll install Zen mode for you. Boom, you're done. You installed Zen mode. Will it work right out of the box? Oh, by the way, I got a new keyboard, and so if I start typing weird, that's why. Some of them will work right out of the box. So look at that. See, Zen mode, we installed it, and it just worked out of the box. Just by swapping this to true, right? And so then we'll turn it off. Zen mode like that. Now, I don't know if it'll actually turn it off if I turn it off inside the same session. That's something I'll work on in the future. But it should have compiled everything, and then if I try Zen mode, I still have Zen mode, but if I turn this off, then it won't. So that's pretty cool. I think the formatting thing, the auto format on save, is really cool. And I want to do this with pretty much all the features that I possibly can. Add ZZ and ZQ. Yeah, ZZ and ZQ sound like a good idea. I'll welcome PRs for that kind of stuff. So, you know, if you guys want to do like a leader Q or leader capital Q or something like that. You're like a magician pulling a hat out of a rabbit, and no, I did not misplace the... Okay. Yeah. I was literally about to say that as you finished that sentence. Nice how the function you built yesterday works. Installs newly active plugins on save. Yeah. I mean, I kind of just... I don't even know... Like, I don't know. It was actually easier than I thought to do that. Pyrite has a memory leak with NeoVim. Can you try, please? I don't really want to focus on that right now. But if there's an issue, report it over to Pyrite. I could never get Emmet to work, and J and JK doesn't always work for back to normal mode. I know why that is. So the reason for that is that this timeout len. So if I set the timeout len to 1000, I don't know, by the way, if that's a thing that gets updated, and then I do JJ. Like, see how it doesn't work? Because that doesn't actually get updated yet, but it will in the future. If I'm really fast, maybe, it'll work, right? Because that's still 100. So JK should work, depending on how fast you press keys, right? But if you swap this over to 1,000 and then save, I don't know if this, like, yeah. Yeah, no, I don't think that updates right now. I'll set that to update in the future. But if you swap that to like 1,000 or higher, like 200, 300, you should probably be fine. And JK and JJ will work. Emmet right now is I've put Emmet away. Emmet will be making a reappearance, but right now it's put away. I probably will set it to 200, 250 out of the box. Here's the reason I don't. I want which key to show up fast. If you don't do that, then which key doesn't show up fast. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. But you know what? For the default config for people, so I stopped getting this question, I may just set it to 250 out of the box. I was thinking maybe some configs should be sourced after compiling because the config is written afterwards. Yeah, there's open questions around that. I'll think more about this once everything's really stable. You reported it. It got closed. Reopen it. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Are you going to make shorter tutorial vids on? Yeah, so I'm going to do short tutorial vids for everything. I got to get it to a point where it doesn't explode in my face once daily. And when that comes, then I will make a video for every single language I know, which is a decent amount, or at least know how to kind of get started with. And then I'll make a video for, like, pretty much just every single feature I'll have a separate video for. Yeah, some people are moving back to FZF. Telescope has a couple issues, but I ultimately still like Telescope better because of the preview thing with Tree Sitter. And just supporting TJ, so. Is there an isolated timeout like the Vim screen script one? I don't know about that. It'd be nice if there was. If I could get an isolated timeout, someone should. Okay, Folk is the guy who made NVim WitchKey. Make him fix that, or make him like do something. Don't know if it's fixed already. The way you selected a commit ref for NVim tree was breaking during a fresh install this morning. That shouldn't be happening. I fresh installed it a couple times. You can let me know. There is a small little bug that shows up at the bottom while you're installing, but it doesn't break anything. Better scrolling. Yeah. Well, there is scrolling. I don't think there's scrolling in the other one. What do you think of LSP signature help? This is useful when writing a function. Yeah, I saw that. We're trying to not do any extra features right now. I'm pausing new features and focusing on pure, like, just stability and speed because so many people are finding out about it, and then it's just like, I want it to just work, what the features that are there to just work, you know? So, yeah, the install script, again, will be more fancy in the future. There's this thing I have out, which I might do in the stream to fix some of that. Little squares? What little squares? What little squares are you talking about? You talking about this? You talking about LunarVim? What squares? These squares? These squares look good, dude. Oh, no, yeah, there'll be... Right now, everything's really moving pretty fast, but there will be videos. I think it'll be really stable probably by the end of the month. Packer was unable to pull the ref during Packer install? Really? Is that still a problem? Okay, how about this? I'll try and do that. By the way, LSP Saga is gone because we're getting rid of... It's a little bit outdated, and also we're trying to get rid of a lot of functions. All right, so... Or plugins. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quit out of this. I'm going to... cd.local. I have a new keyboard. Don't bully me. NVim site packer guy. Okay, and we're gonna go to start, and we're gonna get rid of NVim tree. I'm gonna start this back up, and it's not there obviously. But if I do packer install, it'll say, yeah, well, that's the Zen mode thing from earlier. I was able to grab NVim tree at that commit. It must be grabbing it at that commit because of what I'm using there. So I don't think that that's a problem. Is there some idea about future improvement of inline warning error color indicators? Maybe coloring background? Warning error color indicators. No, I don't really know what's going on with some of that stuff. No, I don't know. I don't know much about it, but you can change the colors. What's wrong with that? Config breaks when I introduce errors in my config. Is there a way to fall back on another config so that you can fix the config with LunarVim? Yeah, how did you know that that was a membrane keyboard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What, at the top? Dude, that's my workspaces. All right, here, how about this? Like that. Now it's gone. So, yeah, no, it was a keyboard I got from work a while ago, and I just had never changed it, and I just figured I would get a new keyboard because people keep complaining about they like some keyboard ASMR. Yeah, give that another shot. Let me know if it doesn't work, and then I'll take a look. There will be a tutorial. Dude, there's going to be a tutorial for every single last thing. It's just right now, if you're playing around with it, you're an early adopter and you're discovering Easter eggs, all right? That's kind of the way that it is. I will never show you how to make IntelliJ like Vim. Just download their Vim extension and then just kind of, that's the best I can do. All right, so yeah, so let's do this. I am also not going to get rid of that because I need to see things. And also, if you're on master, then expect bugs and problems and things. I would stay on stable if I were you right now. Okay, so one thing is, and I don't really want to do this right now, there's a couple things. So, for instance, we have this tree sitter stuff here, and then we have this tree sitter stuff down here. Some of this, I'd rather just be stuck inside of the tree sitter plugin. Same with dashboard. We have some dashboard stuff here, and I'd rather that just be in the dashboard plugin. We have a new thing called user witch key, so you can add your own witch keys. So let me give you a quick demo of how that works. So if you go down here into the config, what's happening? There we go. If you go down here into the config and we do that, and then we'll save and exit, I don't think that automatically updates as of now. And then if you press space, you should have a custom, look at this. A is custom leader keys. But, wait a second. And you press A, and then we can, like A is description for A, B is description for B. I'll show you this again so you can see it. And then we do that, and it just prints that out, right? And so that's just an example of how to use this thing, right? So this is the capital A, you can see. That's the capital A. Name is custom leader keys. There you go, custom leader keys. You can see under A right here. See that, right? And then you see A and B, what they do in here, description for A, description for B. And then there's just echoes, the stuff, and then so does that one, right? So that's that. Same with additional plugins and auto commands and things like that. This is a bad plugin to do because we already have that one included, auto tagging. So it'll just say that there's a duplicate. It's also not the end of the world, but it's something I should update. Let's see. I take back saying the logo is bloat. It's an awesome logo. It is an awesome logo. I fixed the logo. Before there was a bunch of extra rows in the logo, and so it would like blow up and be big. But now, when like your terminal's small or whatever, but now that's not the case anymore. I'm dump iPad $2,000 for it. Wait, what happened? Oh, you paid $2,000 for IntelliJ? That's awesome. Anyway. Jeez. Anyway, so, yeah. I need at least to complete the subscription to not regret paying $2,000 for a text editor. Oh, man. Get out of here, bro. Come back when that subscription's over. How do you access your dot files from mvim tree on the left, like the .config and all that stuff open? So if you want to get to your dot files on the left, just press H in there. See? And then dot files will show up, and press H again, they'll go away. There you go. You can also see some things are .get ignored. They're grayed out. You can hide them with, I think, I or capital I, or at least you used to be able to. You can't right now. I guess I just don't have that in there right now. What's LunarVim? You can check out a link in the description for my GitHub. It's just like a Vim config that apparently got pretty popular. Yeah, I took the spaces out. Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Let's see. So yeah, something I guess happened there. I'm not really sure. Maybe you had like a newer commit. No, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't know. Anyway. Okay. Now for the boring stuff. Let's see. So, all right, I don't really want to do this now. But what we need to do is we need to I want to take all this stuff and put it in like specific plugin config and then just do it that way. So like for instance, like float term, if that's active, so like we have float term here and it'll really like debloat like this space here, right? And then we'll save this and then we'll come over to float term and then just there you go. And then we don't really need to do this check anymore. And then instead of mappings to add this, what you could do is you could just do, what am I doing? O dot, and then I have user which key, and that should just put that in there. So we're gonna test that out now. And it'd be nice if it like compiles that in too when I like go to set this plugin on. So o dot plugin dot float term dot active equals true. We'll save that. It installs it for me. All right, I don't think it works out of the box. You gotta like restart. In the future, it probably will work out of the box. All right, so then you got this, and then you can just do it from there. I think I like that pattern better because it kind of debloats the which key file, which is just going to blow up out of control. One thing is, okay, it looks like the name wasn't updated. I wonder why that is. Because it's got a key in there. We used to have something called mapping in here for that. Now we could keep that check in there for now while I figure that nonsense out. At least it gets some of it out of here. Same with LaTeX. Like if you put a mappings thing in there, if you say like all the stuff name whatever, then it'll work. Maybe I need to get away for name. Oh, what if I did this? What if I did this? I need to see that while I'm doing this. Okay. So what I set it then equal to is of G. No, I think maybe, hold up. Let me go back to this dot. And then what we have here is this. And we're setting that equal to that. But I want to add like another thing. But like what if I just do... let's see. Nah, because I don't think it'll... Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Because it's GG, but that names the big thing. I want to name the small one, which is what this should do. If I do it on mapping, I think it'll work. Or mappings. Alright, what's happening? There we go. Now if I do G, and then see I get the lazy get. Now I don't get that if I do it the other way, if I don't do it on mappings, right? The way those get added is in this guy, and we just say like mappings equals key value pairs of user.which key. So one key would have been that, and then that would have been the value for it. So I have no idea why that wouldn't have happened. So why don't we take a look at why that is? So we'll do o dot user which key like this, and then what we'll do is we'll do print. We'll do print. I don't know. Okay, we should see A and whatever else. Let me get rid of those actually. And we'll print V, and then we'll jump back over to, luckily I have this now. We'll jump down here, we'll comment this out, save this and quit, come back up. It still says lazy get. What happened? So, messages, GG lazy get. All right, that worked. Why didn't it work when it was in float term? Maybe it had to be done. All right, let's test a couple things out. Blah, 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 blah. Sure. If I do G, see, it doesn't work. Okay, but wait, what's in messages? Nothing. I have to append that somehow. I need like some sort of appending mechanism. Will custom which key allow you to overwrite? Yeah, it should. It should allow you to overwrite. It should allow you to overwrite. The Vim version of which key is better, how it handles sizes and pop-up. Maybe. I kind of like this one. Is it possible to modify the master window size in big screen to be in the middle with custom size? Oh, what, for DWM? I think so. I think there are plugins that let you do this. I don't know if there's any videos. I've seen maybe a video that said you could do that. You override it. Yeah. But how? Meh. I mean, I can't override G because this is nested. This is nested in there, right? Like, I already have a bunch of G stuff for Git, like all this. So I don't want to like override. Like, I want to just do GG and then just have it be lazy Git. Why is that not a thing? I feel like, why is this not being set? Could it be? No, it's not that. I'm not yet a Lua expert. So I'm trying to figure out, all right, so what about here? If I can print, I mean, it should, I can't imagine that it wouldn't print out the key and value pairs of this thing as that and that. Yeah, I don't know really what I'm missing there. If I go to here and I see how I do it here, this is like for a full override of something. Because like if I do G again, I'm assuming it'll override the whole thing. It won't just like be friends with it, you know? There's a stream delay? That sucks. Yeah, I don't want to override it in LV config. If I have, well, we can test that that works, and then maybe we can come up with something after that. So Let's see. Let's grab this from there. Come down here. Save that. Do this. Come back in. All right, that works. All right, so what about doing it? What about doing it in the lazy git config? Screws everything up. What about that screws everything up? Maybe if I do it before I don't know what that just complained about. What was that? Lazy git nativitation? I gotta figure out what that is. Search text. Oops. Lazy git. Oh, that's alt now. I think it's getting ran twice for some reason, this thing. I'm gonna get rid of that for now. Alright. And then we got this in here. So that happens there. And then I'm missing a symbol N. So we want to do that there. And alright, let's test this out. It doesn't work. What the hell? I have no idea what that is. Why no buffer delete? What are you talking about? I think we have buffer delete. Like you could just like do like, and then do space C and it gets rid of it. That works. What am I drinking? I'm drinking water. When you define that inside LV which key, you're overriding the whole user which key array. Yeah. Right, because then that happens, because the lazy get thing happened. You're right. It kicks it out. But maybe you're not right, because... But maybe you are right. What if I come back over to the... and I say to do it a different way? Like we have this, right? Why can't we do... like that? Error while doing something, there's a problem with something. And where's the problem? LV utils, LV config, line 60, symbol. This? I wonder why that is. What's this extra thing here? Why do I have that? Probably because that thing used to be a table thing before. Okay, so if that's like this then, right? And then if we save that and we come back in, okay, we have custom leader keys and all. That's kind of a better way to do it, I think, anyway. And if we do git still screwed. Did we still have this thing over here? Yeah, we still have that. So how is it overriding the whole thing when it's just updating a key? I guess is my question. What file explorer do I use? I use mvim tree. Someone explain this to me. Why this doesn't work here? You know, what? Maybe okay. It could be this. I think it's this. I think it's not that that's what's overriding it. What's overriding it is... No, default config comes first. That's the first thing. And then plugins. And then, because like plugins is where that would be added, is when that gets sourced. But then again, only when it's... Well, no, because it calls that config every single time. So if I do like print like directly after sourcing the plugins here, and if I do print, let's see, we want o dot user which key, and then we want the GG in there, and we don't want that to be nil. It is nil. Nil again. I assume this always has to be nil then. Wait a this end here. What does this correspond to? Oh. That function that gets ran. I don't think this thing is ever sourced. Also, I don't know why that's not colored, and that's driving me nuts. Man, I really thought I was onto something there. Let's try one more thing. Packer. All right, give me the leader keys. P, C. Okay, that's all that's in that table. Let's go look at which key and see if... you know what, though? There is another one that's doing this that somebody added to the config in here. They have this which key thing, and they register things to it this way. But they're doing it this really goofy way that I don't really like. But we might have to do a which key register. So what if we just call which key in there and then just register it in there? It might... I don't know if that'll really slow things down. It might. I'd rather not do it that way. How to use nerd tree in Packer? I don't know what you mean. Like how to install nerd tree? Just copy and paste the repo and the username and into use. Maybe you can't have GG. Test a single character. I'll try a single character. ABC always be closing. Yeah. Anyone have any issues with Emmet completion? Emmet completion is taken out right now. Emmet completion will be back later. So I'm going to try one character, but I don't think that that's the issue because... What the hell is happening? Yeah, there we go. So I don't think that's the issue, though. Like, okay, we have these. What are all these extra plugins, maps? Do I need all these maps? I think leader GG is the only one that I care about. I could probably cheat and like name a function lazy git and then just like do that and then do this stuff inside of the function, right? But I don't really want to do that. So, okay, we'll do that. We'll do this. We'll come back in. Still that. Oh, well, just G would have changed the whole thing, but it might have gotten overridden. So we could always just come back in here and do... It's just funny that it doesn't work in here. Like, I bet if I put it here... Yeah, see, it works here, but it won't work in here. Like, that should all be working. That's fine. Do the setup, all these things. I wonder if, like, how early I can get it to happen, because it looks like this command works, right? So we want to try there then. I really want to get this done, because once I have this done, I have a proof of concept with this. I can just get right back to the documentation. This is kind of the last thing I need to do before I can, like, get which key working a little bit better, kind of like decouple a lot of it, which would be nice. Let's see. So nope. Any thoughts, or I'm moving on from this? Yeah, mvim tree is better. Vim.inspect table to print the table. But I know what's in the table, right? I just printed out the stuff. So it's like, it's obviously not in the table, right? I mean, I could vim.inspect table, though. All right, let's do vim.inspect, I guess. We'll do it here at the end of everything. Vim.inspect o.plugin. Not plugin. User which key. Damn it. Yeah, I mean, do I have to print that too? I have to print it too. Yeah, it's just got A in it. For some reason, it just doesn't pick up on... It doesn't pick up on the GG, which is... Like, where that gets done is inside of... You know. It could be in the order that everything gets loaded, maybe. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Where it happens is inside of plugins. And then if we go to floating terminal here, maybe it's the event. When does which key? Which key always loads? So maybe it's trying to add it after which key exists. That's got to be it, right? See, this is how lazy loading can come and bite you in the ass, in my opinion. This might be it. What is happening? All right, there we go. I don't think I have it in there. 1 second. Whoops. One sec. Packer install. Yes. So now the lazy... I either need to lazy load which key, or I need to, like... There's going to have to be something that happens here. No, it wasn't the lazy loading. It could still technically be loading before it. which is probably the issue because this config runs then. All right, that's trouble. That's something we can't really get around, so how did you get around that? How do you get around that? Well, you're saying just to lazy load. What I could do is lazy load which key and then do that buff post and then make sure to do all the other things buff pre. And then that way which key loads after all the stuff and actually adds it to that table. Right? That's my thinking. Is it raining in your place, or is it just splash sound? It's just sounds to keep me from throwing my new keyboard through my computer as I'm working with this lazy load problem. So let's see. So let's take this then, and let's go play around in the plugins and do some lazy loading nonsense. So there's buff win. Okay, there is a place where I have things that can help me with this. Auto commands. And we'll do that. We'll do this. Okay. Now we have, all right, we have buff enter. And then we have buff win enter. So if I make the first one buff enter and the other one buff win enter, that should theoretically do it. So where's float? Yeah, this is buff win enter. And then where is which key? We're going to put an event on this. This also may not go so well. I noticed that lazy loading which key was not the best thing. Oh, what did I do? And then we'll do buff win enter on him. And then we'll close all of this. And then we'll do packer sync, and then move that stuff. And then now if we come back in and we do, yeah, like now which key doesn't even start. I wonder why. I wonder why. Because I did enter the buffer. What if I put it on like buff read or something like that? And then if I do packer, whoops. Well, obviously it's not going to work. Packer compile. Yeah, it still doesn't know about it. Okay, well, there's another problem, which is that this here would probably need to be called in the config there, so we should get rid of that. And then find which key here, and then do something like config equals function. And we'll do require. Or did I grab this? Yeah. And we'll do end, and we'll do a comma. And we'll do that. I think I do that for some of them. Yeah, like we do that here. There we go. So we have that. So then now the buff read thing might still happen previous. So we're gonna have to find one that makes it not do that. So we're gonna need buff win enter. And we need to compile. It doesn't seem to work. We could do after, but no, that's not going to be sustainable at all. What's one that's surely happening before and after another one? After a buffer is displayed in a window. We'll try buffer read for that one. Give that a shot. I mean, at least now we have which key lazy loaded though, which will speed up the config, which is nice. So we got something out of all this, even if we got nothing out of all this. So floating terminal, and then what we'll do is we'll change this to buff read. And then we'll reopen this, packer, compile, close it again, open it again, lazy git. There you go. See, I knew what I was talking about. Everyone doubted me. Everyone in chat doubted me. Everyone doubted me. Look at you guys doubting me. But I knew. Did you watch TJ's 0.5 stream? What did they say about the release cycle in 0.6, and why are you mad about it not being 1.0? 0.1 increments on the bottom. How do you know that I'm mad about that? I don't like that because I feel like people are real chintzy with the integers. You know what I mean? They're not really the integers, but like this number, the one that's the big one. Right? I guess it's kind of an integer if you leave the other pieces over it. So, I don't know. I just see it all the time in software anymore. I just see it all the time. Like, this is a minor release. This is a minor release. This is a minor release. I guess, I don't know what that's necessarily based on. But, like, for instance, like, the way that I understand, and I could be wrong about this, but so, for instance, Semver, right? Like, you have x.x.x. All right, let's go over here. So for Semver, you have x dot, damn it, that new keyboard, x dot x dot x, right? And major is when there's something kind of breaking, like somewhat of a breaking change, right? This one in the middle is a minor release, which is usually like a new feature or something like that. And then the last X is a patch, which is like a bug fix. And I guess if nothing ever breaks in between, then you never really have to do a 1.0 release, right? But I don't know if they're following Semver or what they're following for it. There's also Calver, which is like what Ubuntu follows, which is like the 20.14 or whatever, 20.04, which is like, that means that it was released in 2020, the fourth month of 2020, right? So April. And it's always released on those, so you always see like 0.04 because that's when they do the big releases, is every 2 years. So the next stable release would be like, I think like 2022.04 or 2204 or something like that, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like I like to see the big ones. Oh, thanks, Ahmed. It's always appreciated. I don't know where this little pear guy comes from, but thank you very much. That's why I get mad about that, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's what they're aims for. What's up, Luxus? Do packer status to see which ones are loaded. Well, we figured it out. I was wondering if you could check out the prettier formatting problem. So yeah, so there is a prettier formatting issue. I think I know the one you're talking about. Now let me show you my thing with it right now. Where I'm at with it. All right, new keyboard, hold up. Okay, there we go. And so we do this, we'll go into, I have this GitHub Finder one. It's from one of Brad Traversy's courses. I made this thing like 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago, who knows. So if we open up one of these guys here, this is not a file that's in this project. And we'll do app.js, right? And so if we save, I don't know if I have some prettier stuff already installed for this. Let's see. All right, saved, prettier, was activated, and there's no problem, right? Now, one thing that apparently someone noticed was with the formatter, what is this? Can I, all right, go away. Do you not know I'm streaming? Anyway, so what someone noticed was, what is this? I don't know what. Did you skip the whole thing that was put out for you about bugs? Make sure when you do a new issue and you have a bug, fill out the bug report thing. Because I don't know what version of LunarVim you're running. Okay, there is... This is a tree sitter issue if you guys see anything with HTML being a bug. Tailwind CSS is not attaching right now, and that's on purpose. Where is this? Because I want to check, because someone said something about encoding, and I feel like it might be an encoding issue. What's the name of it? I feel like it's new. Pretty... Well, that's prettier D. That's not important. Was this issue closed? I don't know. Is there an issue out about this? PR 772. Oh, you're talking about that? Okay. I'll check out 772. Svelte might be broken on purpose right now. For prettier, it does not work without global prettier installed. All right, well, let's test that out. That's at least if I can't find the thing right now. So let's do npm yeah, like that. Okay, so we removed prettier. If I go in here and if I try to save, well, something formatted, but I don't think it was prettier. I think it was a TSS or TS server. We could probably test this better by doing LSP stop and then save. Well, something is freaking doing that. I might already have prettier. It might be the local prettier. Which, if it's that, then I have ESLint in here. I don't know if that's what's doing it. I'm not really sure. Well, you know what we could do is we could do neo format and be 100% sure that that's what's doing it. So we could do neo format. Yikes, that's hideous. What is that? All right, let's get to a point and let's do neo format again. All right, that's terrible. But you can see that's us using neo format with whatever the hell is happening there. So now if we do npm I prettier, I know I'm not saving dev, whatever, I don't care. This isn't important. Okay, and now we do Neo format. Yeah, that feels weird. That feels... Wait, did it say Clang? Clang format? Why did Clang format fire? Why did Clang format fire? That's odd. Why is it using Clang D? Yeah. It did say Clang. Is this the issue? Wait, did it like fall back on Clang? Like, hold up, do I have Clang format installed? And it like fell back on Clang? Yeah, it fell back on Clang format. So it's not picking up the prettier that's in here. The prettier that's in here should be in modules bin, and there should be prettier here, right? So let's look at how we can configure Neo format, because it doesn't look like it's automatically grabbing the one that's in there. It looks like you have to globally install it. So, and I did want to do some bug fixes today, so it's totally fine. Neo format. Okay, we have this, and this is basically all we do. So now, if we go into Neo format and Vim, can I just have the freaking Git repo? Whatever. Run all enabled formatters. So is that activated by default, so it'll just go do Clang D? That's not good. I gotta turn that off. Alright, let's see if we turn that off, does that at least fix our problem? So if we do vim.g. Whoops. That, and we set that equal to 0. And then if we come back over to, I guess I don't have that open in another window. Let's I feel like that's not the case, but whatever. I don't know why it's doing the Clang one. GitHub Finder source app JS. If I run Neo format, yeah, it still uses the Clang one. You would think by file type it wouldn't, this wouldn't happen. It does work in Python files, I just had it working. This is what we get for thinking that one thing would just solve all of our problems. All right, let's go take a look at what happens. So in the plugin, you have this, and that's just giving you the command. And then if you also then go look in auto load, I bet that's where the magic happens. So we have all this stuff, and this is just for things that are functions. And then we have neoformat in here, and then we have formatters, and we have this. So if we look in JavaScript React.vim, we have this stuff. Now Clang, I'm assuming, is not in here. I'm not sure why it does that. Does anyone have any ideas? Clang is in the JavaScript list? Are you sure, dude? I don't think it is. Clang. I don't see it in here. Oh shit, it is! For what freaking reason? Why the hell is that there? It legitimately is there. That's freaking wild. Alright. I have no idea why that is. Who did this? No one ever said that they added Clang. I guess that's where it happened, is here? I don't know. Well, no, this is Java. I guess Clang does other things. I gotta just disable Clang for, for this, because no one would ever expect Clang to come in and break things. Why did everyone tell me that formatter.mvim wasn't good enough for this? See the Git blame for who did that. Apparently it's active for a few others too, but I feel like that's wrong. Does that feel wrong to everybody here? That Clang would be there? I feel like that's going to confuse more people than it helps. Nobody modern is like, oh yeah, let me install Clang format for blah blah blah. Yeah, I think I would open an issue, but I don't feel like tracking it, but yeah, like why did it do that? GPT-3 can replace us, devs, easily. Imagine making GPT-3 doing a NeoVim config. I know, for real. I'll look into formatter.mvim, but for now, that is a pain in the ass. Now, okay, so how come NeoVim, NeoFormat also doesn't go look in node modules? Someone told me that it would, and I feel deceived. Where's formatter.mvim? What does it do? Oh, dude, it's in Rust, so you know it's good. By default, there's no tools configured. That sucks. This may change. To configure a tool, you can create a table for the file type you want to use. JavaScript, prettier. Does prettier. Args, file path. Single quote, sure. Well, that's fine. I don't want to do the single quote thing there, but sure, whatever. And then you got Rust and you got all the other ones, right? So okay. Yes. But it's just going to take a lot of typing. Like, so we're going to have to, like, it's just going to take a while to do that, right? Yeah, that would suck ass. Why do I have lag? What's laggy? It says my connection's like green and perfect. Yeah, I was working with EFM, but EFM slows things down. And look, we could do this, but it's going to be a big feature that I'm going to have to sit down on an entire stream and go language by language. And then I'm going to have to expose those options in the default config. It's not hard to do, but it's not going to be fun to do. Yeah, nothing's pre-configured. That's why. But I was hoping that Prettier and Prettier D would be like. Okay, so we could just do something like this, and then we could like give that. We could give that up. So that is an option. For now, I eventually do want to go over to formatter.nvim. But for now, I think this is fine. So, excuse me. Oh, I know what the problem is. This is Vim script, and also some other nonsense. Vim u and u, and there you go. And that's for Python. Now for JavaScript, we want Prettier. What options are there? Formatters. Because it doesn't look like Prettier D is going to be an option with this. But here's the thing, too, with Prettier. There's no way for it to actually go into node modules and ask if it's there, right? Oh, it doesn't do this. Yeah, just look in .bin and node modules. Yeah, just traverse node modules.bin, and if you see the binary there, then run it. Dude, what? Who is this? Get out of here. I think it totally makes sense. Or at least give me an option to do it. Yeah, but like then how do I do that? Like say that I have a binary somewhere. Like how can I do it? Imagine. Ah. This happened like 2 years ago and it never got fixed. Can I just yank this? Will this just work? It's in the README? Oh. Alright, I'll check that out. Can I try? Oh, can you try and make a better installer? Yeah, but I probably won't look at it just yet. I almost never range format. But you probably, like, you could. It's in the read. Are you sure it's in the README? Because it looks like this thing's open. No. Whoops. Like, I guess you could do this, but then what if you want the global one? Will it fall back on it? Create a new formatter. Where's prettier? Oh, well, I guess prettier is like a thing. I don't see anything in the README that's actually all that helpful for this. Yeah, who uses range format, dude? Yeah, but will it fall back to global or will it just eat it? How many other languages do this with like node modules and all that shit? Vim.cmd. Look at me writing Lua. Wait a second. If this is... Am I creating a new one with this? Or am I just overriding another one? Stupid thing. I don't even know what the one looks like for normal prettier. This is almost as bad as just having to do with format.mvim. I might just have to do format.mvim. And then you can just choose what you want, and yep, that's probably gonna have to be what happens. It's gonna be pain, but it's probably the best way. But it's gonna be pain. Maybe some like really nice, handsome young man in the community will want to do it. Where's a prettier? These are the args for it. Okay. What's the error here? I don't see an error. That was the error? How is that the error? Didn't I put things? Does it get rid of them when I do that? Yep. Maybe I have to escape these escapes. No, because that thing's supposed to eat everything. This guy, isn't it? I don't know what that is about. EFM has the same problem. You still have to configure it. Yeah, I probably could convert it to vim.g. Alright, we'll do that. But if it doesn't work, I put a lot of effort into this. Let's see. So we did that, and then we come down here, and then we'll get rid of this. Come over here, we'll change this to an equals sign, and then let's make this big. And then we'll get rid of you, and get rid of you, and then we'll take this one and do the same deal with it, and then we'll get rid of this, and change that for an equal sign, and put a space. Also, this will have to be one of these, and this will have to be one of these. And lastly, this guy here, which we'll put like this. Wait, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to get rid of that. Change this to an equal sign. And then do this. Diag over max values. What? It also could be, well, this. How do you do that? Because that would be, well, no, this is a thing inside of there. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Who knows? Still complaining. This might actually be painful enough for me to actually completely switch over to formatter.mvim in the future. All right. I think in the future we're gonna do that. Now, all right. I don't know if Clang is still active for this. Clang doesn't seem to be active anymore, which is nice. Why Yapif would be active for JavaScript, I don't know. I guess because I did that. And yeah. So we have a bit of a conundrum here. We're going to have to decide. I'll probably just do a stream where I do the formatter.mvim thing. And then I just go through and do it. That's going to have to be what it is. This is good for now. But I'm probably going to do the stream for formatter.mvim. And just go through the pain. Because there's not really much else I can do. But that's going to have to be in the future. How do you create a new file in LunarVim? There's all kinds of ways to create a new file. But just know how to do it in Vim, or probably the easiest way for you to do it would be just to come up here, be in here, press A, create your file, dot blah blah blah, press enter. That's probably the easiest way to explain it to somebody who's coming into this probably from a different text editor. AFM was kind of done, not really perfectly. And you need to always have the LSP server attached. Yeah, like it just doesn't feel right. It feels right for linters, but not for formatters. I'm reconsidering format.mvim. I think format.mvim is our best bet here. Null LS was really slow. Yeah, it was slow, really slow for me. I am gonna do this. This is what I think is the move, right? So like, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to expose this with formatter.nvim, and then what you can do is you can say like for JavaScript or whatever, for TypeScript or whatever, do the thing, right? And yes, that's very, very possible. It's just that we have to do it with formatter.nvim, I think. I think formatter.nvim is the best tool for this. I think neoformat is okay. It's okay. It would be a lot better if it had the prettier thing, and probably a whole lot better if I could do the other thing. In case you go through the pain of configuring all the formatters for formatter.nvim, I sent a PR. One second. In case you go through the... Yeah. Well, I'll check out that PR. Off topic, LOL. Do you have some tips on moving on from a heartbreak? No, I don't think so. Just do something different. Write cool software instead of talking to girls. What is slow about null? It was just really slow for me. I don't know, man. Like, I had it and it really sucked. Go back to Vim if nvim sucks. Who said nvim sucks? Hatsu, you should set up a job in GitHub to run Preacher to check all files. Alright, now we're having like a formatting war about how formatting should be done. I think you should let everybody do formatting the way that they want to do it. I will put range formatting into the config as well. I think that's very, very, very doable. I really wanted to get some documentation done today, but I learned some stuff today. We learned things. We all grew as individuals from this. We had a discussion about formatters. We learned a little bit about what's going on with lazy loading. There's There is other lazy load. This is something I really kind of wanted to do, which was break this all apart. Like debug, right? Like now, all right, also, here's another chore. All right, wait. Here's another chore. Definitely moving on to formatter.nvim. Because then we could just put the formatting stuff in the file type and call it a day. So now, okay, there is debug. Okay, this is driving me nuts. Debug. Right, and then so what we want to do is take all this stuff out and put the other stuff in. So what we want to do is require LV DAP. There we go. And then we'll go over here and we'll create one under Lua. Yeah, and it'll be called LV DAP init.lua. And I'm also going to change this up a little bit, by the way, too. I don't think the init.lua. I think I'm just going to create a config file and then just name all the things inside of it instead of doing it like this. This was just some premature optimization going wrong. So we'll do that, and then we'll come over here and we'll take all of this and then that and then this as well. And now that we have that, we will require that, and that should really be it. Then we can put all this stuff in that file. And you can change the bug in the future too, when I expose that. And then that guy can have his ladybug. We're going to compile. We don't have nvim DAP active, but that's fine. Because now what we can do is we can come in here and we can take this stuff out. Hold up, I'm getting a text message. All right, so we want to just rob all this from this, come over to DAP, add it in here, and then we need to figure out how we're doing it in LV config, which is like this. And this won't show the debug stuff anymore if you don't have debug active. So that'll be kind of nice. We'll change that to D. And then we'll get rid of this. Maybe that's the problem there. And then just do like this. We'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. And we'll just take this and put it up there. And then we'll save. And that should be it. All right, I'm going to test that, and then I'm probably going to be done. Let's open this up. We got to turn on, I really should have called this plugin DAP. New keyboard. O.plugin debug.active equals true. Install that. And the debug stuff is there. Now if we come back in here we could just comment it out. Well, no. Because then it won't, I don't know if it'll really change it. This is what a plugin like Dial was really good for. Change that, come back in. Space, D has nothing. So there you go. I want to get rid of that. Don't need this. There you go. So now that's only active. Now I'm going to do that with all the plugins. That's, I think, a good move. Is there a tool like Emmet which will work for React? Well, it should be Emmet that does that. What's the default keybind to toggle values to true false? There is no default keybind for that, but look up a plugin called Dial. To assert backwards compatibility, we need some kind of test for the project. I agree. I don't know a good testing framework for Lua. It will be a lot of things to do, but with rapid scaling of the project, I think it's essential. I think you're probably right. Just someone can give me a... Well, these guys are all going to be wrong. Unless one of them says formatter.mvim, because formatter.mvim is probably the move. It's pain, but it's the move. And I think as long as there's open source development about it, people like support and help, yeah, this one. I'm not doing it with the language server. I'm not doing it EFM. I'm not doing it with diagnostic lang server. They can get the hell out of here. It's this one. Yeah, it's this one. That's the one that's the best one. That's the one that's the move. It's the right level. I'll look at the auto install save thing. Yeah, I love that. I'm not putting the ladybug. You can put the ladybug now. Well, no, you can't. But in the future, you'll be able to. There will be a stream one day, and you'll be there, and we'll show you how to do the ladybug. I use Concourse at work for my CI. All right, so that's that. I'm going to fix that stuff later. I didn't really get around to documentation today. Formatting still needs to be kind of redone. Which key needs to be refactored. And what else? I think that's really it. I think everything else works really, really well right now. I don't think... Oh, then the plugins need to be pinned. Okay, so let's say this. When which key's done, formatter's refactored, the installer is a little bit more handsome, and I don't know if I said the formatter or which key or whatever, both of those things. When that's all done, then we have a pretty solid 1.0 here, I think. That works really well for a lot of things. But yeah, I'm going to look into formatter.nvim, and also I'm going to probably spend the rest of my time fixing the which key thing here, because it won't be too hard to just take this stuff and put it in different files so that they don't get automatically sourced, especially for the ones at the bottom here, like Zen and stuff like that. Like, why wouldn't that just be in Zen? And then, you know, it'll all just be more comfortable, and that way things won't be loaded in your space if they're not loaded. Let's get rid of these prints. Let's get rid of this. All right, I think we're good. I think that's the stream. We learned a lot today. Let's do GG. Well, do I not have this stupid thing active? It is active. Now it says lazy git, but then it doesn't. I think this needs to come before that. Maybe. No. I was so close. Maybe if we go down here and put it, I don't know, there. Something up with that end. Lazy gets in there, but it's not. Let's do a, I don't think this will have anything to do with it. The debugging one worked. All right, well, here's the thing. For single ones, we're just gonna have to do it the old shitty way and then fix it in the future. So if I take this, and then if I come back over to here, and then, or we could do the which key register thing or whatever. But we don't have a lot of singular ones besides projects, Zen. I don't know what this one is. Highlight capture, mapping, space. I don't know why that's a thing. And then we have the O one. But then there's a lot of these other ones up here that aren't that way. Not that really many of them need to be moved. But whatever. So let's just make sure that it works regularly. So we'll just do o.plugin.float term. Whoops, and we'll just do end like that. And then we won't do this, we'll do mappings. All right. Detected while processing term enter auto commands for star lazy git nativation. There should be no more nativation. There shouldn't be any more auto commands for this. I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe it still pulls it open. Why the hell was that running? All right, hold up. Where's this existing at? It's gotta exist, right? Sneaky. There we go. So something better. Neo format is ultimately not, I mean, it's better. Yes. 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 This will at least speed things up. That's probably the best thing we got. Yes. And yes. refactor. I'm not gonna do one by one, unfortunately. I'm just gonna say which key, because that's mostly what we did. Yeah, it's kind of mostly what we did, honestly. It really all had to do, besides the neo format stuff, it really all had to do with refactoring which key. Yeah, but the problems with formatter.mvim, it's not going to be that bad. Project-wide search and replace with VS Code. I think you can get that done with a plugin called Spectre or something like that. Yeah, the formatting issue, I'm really glad you put $5 in too, because otherwise I probably would have been like, whatever, gloss over it. But I was like, all right, I got to look into this now, like for real. And yeah, so that was really useful. I'm glad you said something about that, because that's we're gonna have to change things. Search with telescope and send to trouble. That has been kind of okay, but Spectre should be able to do it. I think it'll be Spectre. There'll be something that comes out that does this in the future for sure, if it's not Spectre. Putting in hard work. Yep. Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. It just takes a good amount of time to get all this stuff ready. Thank you for thanking me, Mr. John. And I think I'm gonna call it a stream there. I will likely be back tomorrow, and you will see hopefully updates with which key, and hopefully updates with maybe even formatter.nvim, but likely I'll spend some time with the install script as well. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go eat. I'll talk to you tomorrow.